Hello everyone. So it's day 2 of my little experiment involving creating a YouTube channel and seeing how I can progress it, how I upload videos, learn a little bit more about video editing, etc. And I've chosen Lords Mobile, which is a game I play on a regular basis, to be the prime topic of the first few videos that I'm going to be uploading on this. So the first 10-20 videos will be purely based on Lords Mobile. I'm trying to get into a practice of actually putting in one video every single day so that I make it a habit and I get used to, the video editing and things like that. I'm still not doing any editing. I'm just doing a screen recording on my phone. So it's unedited content. So please bear with me if it's a little dodgy at times. But I'm trying to give you an introduction. I'm trying to give you a warning. So Lords Mobile is a MMO war/strategy game. So that means there are millions of players around the world playing this game, right? So as per the website, the Lords Mobile website and the Wikipedia says that there's something like 200 million players around the world playing this game. And I saw somewhere else that there's about 10 million active players playing every single month, right? And it's a game, it's a warning that I'm going to give you. If you do decide to play this game, it can be really frustrating at times. It's going to take you a lot of your time. It might ruin your relationships with your partner, your wife. You might find yourself neglecting other things in favor of this game. You might end up spending some money on it. But even if you don't, and I don't recommend that you spend too much, you will spend a significant amount of time on it. But I can tell you it is hugely addictive, and I have had an extremely entertaining experience playing it. The game is playable in so many different ways and so many different strategies that you can apply to how you progress in the game and how you find it rewarding for yourself. You can be someone who goes around attacking everybody, creating and losing your troops. You can chill out and just gather resources and progress your castle and wait for other people to attack you and trap them. So there are different ways in which you can do this. And because it's a multiplayer game with so many people around the world, you will make some friends, you'll make some enemies maybe. And it's overall you'll have a whole lot of fun, or well, at least I did. Right, so let's start from how this game to give you an overview of the game is the objective of today. So it consists of a world map, and at the moment there are something like 729 kingdoms, and you can see there are different kingdoms here, and you will be basically based in one of these kingdoms. You can migrate from one kingdom to another. There are some events in the game which is like bigger wars, where you have kingdoms versus other kingdoms, where your entire kingdom and all the players in it will get together and attack another kingdom, and they will attack you, etc. So there's a lot of things that happen in this game, and it's a lot of fun to play. So coming back to the kingdoms, so you've got 729 kingdoms. Each kingdom will have thousands of players, anything from 10,000 players. I don't know whether there is a max to a number of players that can be in a kingdom, but I'd imagine there are 100,000 plus players in some kingdoms which are a little more crowded than others, right? So if I go into the kingdom that I'm in, so I'm in this kingdom, which I've just created a new account or a guest account just to show some of the concepts to you guys. And if I go into the kingdom, each of the 729 kingdoms will have this exact same layout. The layout is basically you've got a base in the middle of the kingdom, and around that base you will get 6 different forts. So the base is occupied by the ruling guild, and that gives them some benefits, and they can assign titles like Baron or War Commander or different general, etc. to the different individuals in that kingdom. Their friends, their enemies. You can even assign titles like the Joker or the Fool or something like that, which will give you debuffs in terms of your attack skills and things like that. And as you can see, this castle that I have created is at the edge of the kingdom here, over there, and it's a big kingdom. So if I go into that kingdom and just show you, so the base is in the middle. Around the base I'm just scrolling across, and you will see that there are different clusters, or there are different castles. Each of these castles is a single player, right? So, or some people might have more than one castle because they've got multiple accounts, but each of these is one account essentially. And you will also have a castle like this, and there will be so many other castles. So you can scroll around the kingdom, and you can see it's a big, just one kingdom out of 729, and it's a massive kingdom, right? So you can scroll all over it, and it's a really, really big space. My castle is located in a corner. So these kingdoms where you can see some of these, if I just scroll to a place where you've got some castles together, that's what you would refer to as a guild typically, and that's a hive in game terminology. A hive is where all the players in a specific guild move to, and that's their main location where they're based out of. And your castle also will be in one location, and you can always transfer to a different location, and you can even move guilds. But essentially, if you look at it from top down, you've got a kingdom. You've got multiple kingdoms, which is a world. So 729, whatever that number was, kingdoms. And your main play area will be your kingdom, right? So you get into this kingdom, and that's your main play area. The times that you go out of this kingdom are very, very rare, or very infrequent is what I would say. So a bulk of your time will be spent in your kingdom, in your guild. So you've got a kingdom, and then you've got a guild. A guild is basically like your family. A guild will consist of a maximum of 100 castles or 100 players, and that becomes your family, and you can talk to them. They can help you out when you're doing attacking and things like that. You can get together with 2 of your guild mates, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 10 of your guild mates, and go and attack somebody else. So you can use your combined forces if that guy is a lot bigger than you, so that you can still have a chance of winning against him. So it's a lot of fun, like I said, and it's a lot of strategy that goes into this game, right? So let's go into, so within that guild, you will have your castle. I have not joined a guild yet, so I'm just an individual castle at the moment. You have to join a guild though, because otherwise you won't really progress in the game, and you won't be able to experience half the game's features. So if I go into that castle, you can see around me there's one castle. I can attack him if I wanted to, but I'm not going to right now. So you can go into your castle, or your turf as the game calls it, and within this you will have different buildings. So this is a new account, so I've just got 4 or 5 buildings. I've not got most of the buildings unlocked, but you can see within this turf area also there's a bit of space, and you can see these cloud areas with these locks are what your turf can expand to, and the buildings, and every time you unlock one of those, you will unlock a new set of buildings, or you will be able to expand it with more buildings of the same type, depending on what you want to do and depending on what it is that you've unlocked, right? So the main areas of the game is, there's resources. So you can see these are my resources at the moment that I have. It's very low, but these resources are used to do different things. The main thing is to build up your castle and research and creating troops, right? So each of these different buildings will give you some benefit or some resource or the ability to create new troops, etc. And the progression of the game involves going into these, building and upgrading them, and then they will give you more benefits and unlock new troops, etc. And you will spend a big portion of your time upgrading those buildings, right? I've not got the academy unlocked yet because I just started this account, but that academy basically allows you to do research, and research is one of the key elements of the game. It's one of the most important elements of the game, if you ask me. And the research allows you to unlock certain things as well as upgrade certain stats within the game, right? So that's the key part of the game as well. So researching, constructing, and then gathering resources. So if I go outside here, you can see I will see different in the kingdom. There'll be these resource tiles, so I can click on it and then I can send my troops to go and gather resources from that, and that will add to my resource count. So you'll be creating a lot of buildings, researching a lot, and you will need resources for all of this, so you can go around gathering it. Your castle also will generate resources, but I would recommend that you also go around gathering resources. Different ways to get resources, there are events and things like that, as well as you can also get resources by attacking someone else who has resources and taking their resources also. Yeah, there are multitude of events that unlock. I don't have them all enabled here because I've not yet joined a guild, but there are events that every day get refreshed, and those events give you different rewards and different gifts, and it's quite rewarding and interesting to try and complete those events. And they're not, most of them are not extremely difficult to do, and some of them involve you and your guild mates working together, so it can be quite a lot of fun. Yeah, the biggest part of this game, it's a war game after all. It's attacking and being attacked, right? So even if you choose to play in a mode that is not primarily an attacking mode, and you are more just chilling out and playing the game the way you like, you will still get attacked by other people, and there's very little you can do to prevent it. But there are certain strategies you can employ to protect yourself and minimize your losses, so that you don't lose a lot of resources, or your troops don't die whenever they give you grief or attack you. Yeah, so you build all this essentially in order to be able to attack better. So if you're a level 2 castle, I can't attack this level 6 castle next to me because I will just get annihilated. But as you progress to be level 10, level 15, there will be other castles that are smaller than yours, which you can attack and take their resources. But there will always be a bigger fish also, and you have to be able to protect yourself as well. So there are different strategies that you employ to protect yourself from the bigger guys, and there are different strategies you would employ to attack smaller guys. And there are situations where you can attack people who are bigger than you, but then usually you would need the help of your guild mates to do that, and y'all can do a combined attack and things like that, right? Beyond this, there's so much. There's a hero that you get, so there are multiple heroes that you need to recruit and build up, and each of these heroes will give you your castle and your attacks and your army different benefits. And your main hero or your leader will basically have a set of talents that you can unlock. So it's a talent tree. The research tree also looks something like this, but it's a bit much bigger tree than the talent tree, because there are multiple different researchers and sub-researchers that you can do. But overall, what I'm trying to say is there is a lot to do in this game, and there are different ways to play it, and you will have a lot of fun playing it, along with a lot of frustration. So you can decide how much time you want to put into it. The minimum time I would say you need to do is log in twice a day, which is in order to protect your troops, because the maximum time you can shelter your troops inside your castle is for 12 hours. So I tend to get up in the morning, put them into shelter, make sure everything's okay, send them to gather some resources, etc. And then I would log in again in the night before going to sleep as a minimum, right? The more time you spend on the game, obviously the faster you'll progress. At the beginning of the game, you will need to spend a little bit more time. But as you progress beyond level 15, 20 or 15, 17, the amount of time you need to spend on the game reduces significantly, because your research times and your construction times go into days and weeks even, as opposed to a few hours. So then the progression of the game becomes slower, but then there are more things to unlock and more things to do as your castle level increases also. That's a basic introduction to Lords Mobile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Any feedback is welcome if you start playing the game, and please don't blame me. I have given you a disclaimer saying that I am not responsible for anything that happens to you once you start playing this game, which can be massively addictive. Alright guys, thank you very much. Bye bye.